So today we will be talking about addition and subtraction of related fractions. Before we start this, some things that you will need to know beforehand. One, you need to know how to add and subtract fractions that have the same denominator. So this should be something that was covered in primary 2. If you're not too sure about this, please go and revise that first. Second thing you need to know is how to simplify fractions. If you're not already sure how to simplify fractions, it'll be good if you can go and watch that video first before coming back to this video. So first, we want to add and subtract related fractions. The first question, calculate half plus 1/4. If you notice, previously we only know how to add and subtract fractions that have the same denominator. But in this case, our denominators are different. So how should we do this? If I were to draw a picture, so let's say this is a circle, and I have half the pizza, and someone else eats 1/4 of the pizza, what is the total amount of pizza that has been eaten already? Okay, so in order to find this, we will need to find equivalent fractions of half. Okay, so how do I do that? I need to make sure that both my fractions have the same denominator. So I will take half, and I want to change it such that the denominator is 4, which in this case I'll multiply by 2. And I have 2/4. So I can write this as half plus 1/4 is the same as 2/4 plus 1/4, which gives me 3/4. Okay, and now the question also says to leave my answer in simplest form. So if you don't know what simplest form is, please go and check this video on simplifying fractions. To check if a fraction is in simplest form, I will see, can my numerator and denominator be divided by any other number other than 1, such that my numerator and denominator are smaller whole numbers? In this case, I cannot take 3 or 4 to divide by the same number. So 3/4 is in simplest form. And it is my final answer. Let's look at the next question. Calculate 5/6 minus 2/3. Leave your answer in simplest form. Okay, so I do the same thing. I need to make sure that my denominators are the same. So I will need to change 2/3 into an equivalent fraction. So I will change it such that the denominator is also 6, so that both my fractions have denominator 6. In this case, I multiply by 2 to my numerator and denominator. I get 4/6. So 5/6 minus 2/3 is the same as taking 5/6 minus 4/6, which gives me 1/6. Can 1/6 be simplified any further? No. Because my numerator is already 1, there is no other number I can divide by such that it becomes a smaller whole number. So my answer is 1/6. Next, calculate 1/3 plus 4/12. Leave your answer in simplest form. Similar to what I did just now, I will need to change my fraction such that my denominators are the same. So for 1/3, I will need to make my denominator 12. And to do so, I need to multiply by 4. to my denominator and hence my numerator as well, I will get 4/12. So 1/3 plus 4/12 is the same as taking 4/12 plus 4/12, and this gives me 8/12. So is 8/12 in simplest form? Actually, it is not. Okay, if I'm not sure how to find the simplest form, I can just do it step by step. For example, I know that 8 and 12 can both divide by 2. So let's do that. This will give me 4, 6. And I realize, actually, 4 and 6 can both divide by 2 as well. So I can simplify it again. And I get 2/3. Now, can 2 and 3 divide by any other number such that my numerator and denominator are smaller whole numbers? I cannot. So 2/3 is the simplest form of my answer. Okay? If I am able to do this in one step, I can take 8/12 and divide by 4 directly. And this will give me 2/3 immediately. Either way, both of them will give me the same answer, and there's nothing wrong with either method. It is just that one method might take a slightly longer time than the other. Both will still give me 2/3, which is the correct answer. And last but not least, let's try taking 6/8 minus 1/4. Same thing, I will need to make sure my denominators are the same. So I would change 1/4 into a fraction that has denominator 8, which requires me to multiply by 2. So this will give me 6/8 minus 1/4 is the same as 6/8 minus 2/8, which is 4/8. Okay, now 4/8 is not in simplest form because 4 and 8 can both multiply by another number to give me smaller whole numbers. So when I look at it, I think 4 and 8 can both divide by 2. So I'm going to do that. But I realize that 2 and 4 can both divide by 2 as well. And this gives me half. Or I can do this in one step as well. 4/8, if I realize they can both divide by 4. And this will give me half immediately. So my final answer should be half. And 1 and 2 cannot be simplified any further because they both cannot divide by another whole number to give me smaller whole numbers in my numerator and denominator. Hence, half is in simplest form. This is my final answer.